Already. Listen, I am live streaming from my phone, and it is a lot different than doing it from a webcam. So things are going to look a little wobbly, but I wanted to hop on here and show you how I meal prep for tofu scramble. I'm basically going to be taking a pack of tofu scramble. You can get, I mean, any tofu that you want. I like to use firm. It doesn't matter what brand, but as long as it's firm or extra firm, that's the best texture I think for tofu when you're making scrambles. And I'm just gonna show you what I do. Basically, I'll be making enough for 2 meals, um, and so I'm prepping one so I can have something for breakfast tomorrow, and then for like the next day. Sometimes I do this with more than one like pack of tofu. So depending on how many meals you want to have prepared in advance, then you can, prep that amount in advance. But that's just what I'm doing. Again, I'm just showing you what I do. You can do whatever you want. But I feel one of the biggest like components when it comes to making like that egg flavor is I'm really trying to adjust here. Let me try to get put this on a mount. So one of the biggest things is that kind of egg flavor, and that's what a lot of people tend to want to replicate, or what they feel is missing in their tofu scramble, if they're wanting it to be something that has like a bit of an egg flavor to it. And so one of the ingredients that I would highly recommend you get, and I ordered mine from Amazon, and I have it pictured in the thumbnail, but it is Himalayan black salt. So like, here's just what pink Himalayan salt looks like, just regular pink Himalayan salt. And then this is the Himalayan black salt. And this is by Pride India. And the black salt, that is what gives it that kind of that egg flavor, that kind of sulfur type flavor of eggs. So if that's something that you're wanting to recreate, you get it from using the black sea salt. And let me just show you what it looks like. This is the fine blend, but you can find coarse, and this is still pretty coarse in my opinion. But you see there's the black salt in there. I've also purchased brands where it's completely black, but I got it on Amazon. I can post a link if you want me to do that, but you might be a local store, but usually you have to go to like online, or like to an international market, or something like that. Just depends on where you're located. But that is like one of the key ingredients. So another thing, so I mentioned with the tofu is the texture. I like to use firm. And so let me try to adjust this camera so y'all can see. Oh my gosh. So y'all can see what I'm doing. Hold on, y'all. Y'all gotta bear with me, okay? I'll put it like this. Nope. I'm gonna flip this around. Okay. So here's the tofu. What I like to do is drain it. I already cut a slit and drained it. And the next thing I'm gonna do is actually just do a light press on it. And I'm just going to do that manually. So I'm going to show you how I go about doing that. I basically take just the lid of like, I have like the meal prep trays, and I'm just taking the lid of that, and I'm going to put the tofu on that. Just the whole block after I've drained it. It's still going to be okay, so let me so here's the block of tofu. And sometimes, just depending on what I have available, I will take another one of those lids and manually press it, or I will take um, like a small cutting board and press. Today I'm just going to use another lid. One of the reasons why I like to use this little lid is because there's a lip on it and it'll kind of catch the liquid. And then all I do is once I press it, is I just drain that liquid in the sink. If you want to leave it, let it sit for a bit, you can put like some heavy books on top. But I just literally just press down like this. Or sometimes I'll just put my forearm on it. And there is, even though I drained it, there's still liquid. So I'm just going to show you. I'm just going to pour that in so you can see. You see all that liquid coming out? So let me do that again. I do it about 2 or 3 times. Just for a few seconds. Add some pressure. And this is like just the quick, like lazy way to do it. You know, I'd like to do something that's quick and easy. And it really helps when it comes to the texture of the scramble. And again, sometimes I just lean on it like this, but you can put books on it, stuff like that. But since this is something, you know, it's in the evening right now, and I just want to not have to do anything. Like, I just want to be able to heat up food the next day. So that's why I'm doing this. All right, so now that my let me put this back a bit more. I was seeing that. Okay, so now that I have pressed the tofu, now what I'm going to do is just put it in a container, because again, I'm making some for the next couple of days. So sometimes I will use 2 blocks of tofu, whatever amount of tofu you want to have a container that is going to fit that amount. This is just 1 block, which for me, this will be 2 servings, because I want, in one package, there is, according to the nutrition label, it's 5 servings. And I turn that into 2 servings. I literally just use half of a block, and I eat that in one meal, because of the amount of protein I'm wanting to consume within the meal, which is typically, half a block of tofu is typically around between 20 and 27 grams of protein, depending on the brand. So that's just a rough estimate. The next thing I like to do is actually just start to break this up with a fork. So let me do that. So I'm literally just going to press into the tofu. So I'm just going to do that really, there's no real rhyme or reason, no special technique, just press and just let it pull apart. Once it's like that, now I'm going to start adding my seasonings. And that's really what makes it. So let me show you the seasonings I'm going to use. So I mentioned that the key component here is the black salt, and you can get that from Amazon. I also like to add nutritional yeast. This is the Trader Joe's brand. I've used Bragg's, like I have that in the cabinet right now. Whatever nutritional yeast brand that you want, that's optional. I like to add some turmeric, and that's to give it, you know, there's a lot of good health benefits to turmeric, but then it also gives it that kind of yellowy color. But you don't want to put too much of this, because turmeric is also very overpowering. But if you are wanting something that is, depending on, like, if you're doing a tofu scramble, that's for like a different type of meal. That's not where you don't want that kind of breakfasty type of scramble, but you want something to go with something else, like in a curry or something like that. I've used like more. I also like to add some of this South African smoke blend seasoning. I do like my scramble to be a little bit spicy, so I like to add that, and some cayenne pepper. some garlic powder. I also like to add a little bit of oregano. And, well, that was the basil. Basil and some oregano. So that's what I'm going to be adding in. And let's do that really quickly. So you don't need a lot of this. And I don't really measure. One day I will. And sometimes you're gonna measure based off of to taste and what you like. I don't put a whole lot in there. The scent is it's a very strong sulfur scent, and you really don't need a lot to get that kind of egg flavor. So you see, I just sprinkled a little bit on top. Then I'm gonna go in and add some of this smoke blend. Use whatever flavor, whatever seasonings you like. Right, this is just what I'm doing. You do what you want to do. Oh, let me tilt that up a bit. Doing that, I'm gonna add just a little bit of the turmeric. A couple little dashes there. I'm gonna add in the nutritional yeast. And I do like one serving. And one serving of this is a 5 grams or a tablespoon. So that's the one thing I do measure because I do track my macros. And so since I do that, I do like to measure. And I typically use a scale, but I just don't feel like using the scale right now. So I'm just making sure I put a tablespoon of that. I do a tablespoon per package of tofu. All right, so I'm adding my oregano, just a little bit. I really think it just gives a bit more depth of flavor, but again, you can do what you want. Basil, I told you I like it spicy, so a little bit of cayenne. Then I'm going in with the garlic and onion powder. I like to go a little heavier on the garlic. Now, sometimes I will pre-chop vegetables like some onions and peppers and mix that in advance. And sometimes I just pre-chop and then add it right before I like saute. But today I'm not doing that because again, I just want to just get this prepped and seasoned so it marinates overnight. So this is what it's looking like. And I'm just gonna mix that up. And let me just flip this over so y'all can see. So this is what it's looking like. I'm going to just mixing this up. And you can mix this so it could be as crumbly as you want it to be. That is your choice of how you want it. And then all I'm going to do is put the lid on. This is an air sealed. This is a glass lid with a plastic air seal container. So I'm going to do that, and that's pretty much it. I'm going to let me flip this back around. That's pretty much it. I'm going to take some, what I like to do to get some vegetables in is I will just take a bag of frozen kale or spinach. I think I have frozen spinach right now. Yeah. Sometimes I use fresh. It just depends on what I have. Just use whatever you have, right? But to get some extra vegetables in, I will add a cup of frozen or fresh spinach or kale when I'm actually sauteing the tofu. And then if I'm in the mood to add, you know, peppers and onions and stuff like that, then I'll just chop that. And again, depending on how I'm feeling, I might chop it that morning or the night before. But either way, It's really quick. You can make a lot of this. Like I've done this to where I've batched, like I usually batch maybe up to 3 or 4 days worth. I usually don't like to go past. I typically don't go past 3, but I have gone up to 4, just depending on how busy I am that week. But yeah. So once this is all mixed in, which it almost is, you can taste it. Because you can eat it, it's pretty much ready to eat at this point if you want to taste it and see if the flavors are what you want, and then adjust if needed. And then you go from there. So this is pretty much good to go. Everything is mixed in. And now I have 2 days worth or 2 meals ready for this. So whether I want to have it for breakfast or lunch or just whenever, I can make do a scramble and just have some oatmeal on the side, or put this in, like I'll do like a breakfast burrito or breakfast tacos or something like that. So really just whatever. Do whatever you want. But this is what I do. And I do it the night before. It literally takes like 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes tops, right? It's really quick. It's really convenient. You can use whatever flavors you want. I also do this when I want to make, if I want like to make tacos and I want to use like taco flavored seasonings. I bought like the taco seasoning and just use that in a scramble, like in tofu. Same process, just different seasoning. So you can use this for any type of meal that you're wanting to do. If you want to do jerk tofu, use jerk seasoning, just use the different seasoning, same process, and just let it marinate. I personally feel like it's best to do it the night before, at least, and let it marinate because the flavors will be a lot better. So that's pretty much it. I will take half of this out in the morning and saute it and eat it with whatever I'm in, probably with some English muffins or something like that. Maybe I'll post a picture on my community tab of what it looks like. But yeah, hopefully this was helpful. And if you are wanting some more tips, or just wanting me to show what I do, and because I've been vegan for 10 years, and you don't have to be vegan to eat tofu or want to have some plant-based options, or maybe you know somebody that is vegan or vegetarian, or you just want to try something new, right? It's good to have some variety. And you want it to actually taste good, then just let me know, if you have any questions or suggestions. So hope you enjoy this. And yeah, I'll try to get better with this live stream on the phone. It's really awkward to do. I think I'm looking the wrong way right now. I don't even know. But anyway, bye y'all.